Alrighty, guys. Good morning to you all here. It is Sunday, May 18th, 2025. I hope you guys are doing well out there. And once again, here we've got a dangerous and potentially destructive day for significant severe weather. A tornado outbreak is possible today, as well as a severe weather outbreak is expected here, especially for the state of Kansas and northern Oklahoma, where we now have a level 4 moderate risk that has been introduced as of this morning here. Could get expanded as well through the afternoon hours as we kind of see storm coverage grow. But nevertheless, a significant and potentially dangerous day here for the state of Kansas, specifically here outside of that, Nebraska, Oklahoma, down into Texas as well. But Kansas will be the main focus as we could see multiple supercells fire off, strong to intense EF3 plus long track tornadoes on the table for today. Destructive hail and significant winds all at play for today. You guys can see we have a pretty big risk zone. We'll talk about this here in a second. A pretty nice day across the Ohio Valley today. Outside of that risk zone, things will change as we go towards tomorrow and into portions of Tuesday. But nevertheless, here you can see our main surface low developing already here. Big trough digging in here. You can see the clouds developing here as we get our satellite imagery in this morning here. There will be a nice dry line setup here, a sharp dry line setup, allowing for what could be a potential significant tornado outbreak both today and tomorrow here. We have 2 days in a row, and then we get to Tuesday where we have another threat into the Ohio Valley and the Tennessee Valley. So I'm going to break all this down, guys. As always, we will have our live stream starting at 2 p.m. Central Time today, getting you all ready to go, get y'all out the door, keeping you all safe as always today. Make sure y'all come into the stream, be respectful, and we will keep you guys safe, knowing where to go, and getting those warnings out to you guys as always here. I do want to go ahead and start out here and go to our Storm Prediction Center outlook and kind of talk about what we're going to be seeing here for this afternoon here. And like I said, the Storm Prediction Center has upgraded as of this morning a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk here. Once again, this is the same type of a risk zone that we saw in Kentucky and in Missouri, back into northern Tennessee on Friday last week. Once again, this is the same type of a situation all over again, except it's going to be for Kansas. I also could see them extending that moderate risk over towards Wichita, maybe even into eastern Kansas on the next run. That'll be around about 45 minutes to an hour. So we'll have that updated version to you on the stream today. Enhanced risk outside of that, slight risk outside of that, and a marginal risk outside of that. And we also got 2 little slight risk here into Arkansas, Mississippi, and into Alabama and Georgia for some upgraded wind threats here. And we'll talk about that here in just a second as well. Nevertheless, this is a 15% hatched moderate risk and a 10% hatched tornado risk here for the enhanced region as well. This is a tornado-driven moderate risk, so I cannot stress this enough. Have no notifications on your phones for weather alerts. Know where to go when you get tornado warnings. Be very, very mindful today, guys. We could have a destructive day for tornadoes in and across Kansas and northern Oklahoma today. But nevertheless, here we've got portions of Hutchinson, Kansas, Hayes, Kansas, Great Bend, Kansas, just outside of Wichita. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Wichita gets upgraded to a moderate risk there in that red shaded area. And then the 10 hatch tornado risk is for Wichita, Kansas, Enid, Oklahoma, Salina, Kansas, Stillwater, Oklahoma, Dodge City, Kansas as well. And then outside of that, we have a 5% tornado risk extending through Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Fort Sill down through the Dallas-Fort Worth area, once again, Abilene, and into portions of South Central Texas. Western portions of Missouri, including the Joplin area, and a 5% tornado risk. Western Arkansas, including portions of we've got Springfield, Illinois, Missouri, and there, Kansas City, Missouri, Jefferson as well, and they're in a 2% tornado risk. So a big tornado risk today, guys. Once again, as expected here, I've been talking about this for the last couple of days, getting y'all ready to go, and as expected, the Storm Prediction Center is keeping that high-end threat there. We've also got a wind threat today, much lower in wind threat today. Could see some 60 to 70 mile an hour winds out there, 15 and 5% chance in those yellow and maroon shaded areas, and then the hail threat today is also going to be on the table as well. I wouldn't be shocked to see a moderate-driven hail risk also at play for Kansas as well, but a 30% and a 15% hatched moderate risk here, or not moderate risk, but hatched hail risk today here for hail over 3 to 4 inches in diameter. Big day for large hail, big day for strong, intense tornadoes. Like I said, outside of that hatched region there, we could see a slight risk and a marginal risk for 1 to 2 inch diameter hail. So nevertheless, guys, a significant threat today for strong tornadoes, intense tornadoes, violent long track tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center has mentioned that in their wording today. I do want to talk about tomorrow as well. We have the threat for another tornado outbreak tomorrow, significant severe weather outbreak tomorrow, a way bigger risk zone covering much of Kansas, much of Arkansas, much of Missouri here, much of Oklahoma, and much of Kansas and into northern Texas here. We could see a moderate risk also upgraded. The Storm Prediction Center also mentioning last night, precluding, they haven't issued that moderate risk yet due to storm coverage mode. We still got a little bit of an issue trying to figure out what's going to happen with storms tomorrow, but nevertheless, a significant tornado outbreak possibly once again for tomorrow here in the Storm Prediction Center, going level 3 enhanced in the orange, level 2 slight risk in the yellow there, and a level 1 marginal risk in the green. You need to be weather aware tomorrow, guys, both today, tomorrow, and on Tuesday. This is probably one of the most biggest 10% hatch tornado risks I have seen so far this year. Pretty much covers the whole state of Missouri, most of eastern and central Kansas, most of Oklahoma, most of northern Texas, including Dallas, western Arkansas, also Dallas, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas City, Jefferson, Springfield, Joplin. You guys are all under the threat for strong to intense tornadoes tomorrow. And like I said, when SPC pulls that moderate risk plug potentially for tomorrow, we'll see a 15% hatch probably introduced as well somewhere in the middle here. But this hatch 10% region, guys, means EF2 plus tornado potential for tomorrow here. And that's within a 25-mile radius of a given point. Outside of that 5% tornado risk there and 2% tornado risk in the green for intense, or not intense, but for weaker tornadoes. Can't rule out a strong tornado anywhere outside of that, going through Illinois, going through portions of Iowa here, southern Minnesota, eastern Nebraska, central Nebraska, eastern and central portions of Kansas, and down through Texas and up into portions of western Tennessee and western Kentucky. So nevertheless, guys, a very, very active next 48-hour period here. And you're going to see as well the threat for wind also going to be on the table, 30, 15, and 5% wind threat for winds up to 75 miles per hour. And then once again, another hail threat for tomorrow, hatched 15 and 30% hail threat, meaning hail could exceed 3 inches in diameter. Outside of that, they're in the maroon 1 to 2 inch diameter hail. And then we do have one more day to get through, guys. And once again, this is where my heart's going to break a little bit here, especially for the people that were impacted with the storms back on Friday. We've got a level 2, level 3, and level 1 risk for all hazard severe weather again on Tuesday here across the Ohio Valley, Kentucky, London, Somerset, some of these areas that were hit with strong tornadoes the other day, under the gun again for significant severe weather. Now shifting that higher threat down towards Nashville, Jackson, Memphis, getting into portions of like Greenville, Mississippi there, just outside of Birmingham, Alabama, therefore, as well, that level 3 enhanced risk. All probabilities are going to be on the table. We'll see these upgraded or updated tonight for all. We'll see the actual categories for tomorrow. But nevertheless, a 30 and a 15% hatched risk for all modes of severe weather. Couldn't rule out a couple strong tornadoes tomorrow or on tomorrow. But going into Tuesday, the damaging wind threat and the hail threat will probably be the higher threats. But there will be a strong tornado risk as well, potentially with Tuesday's setup. Outside of that hatched region, 15 and 5% for all modes of severe weather as well. So we'll be talking more about that. And then the good news is, as of right now, we are not seeing any more severe weather as expected right now for the day 4 through day 8. There could be some low end severe weather on Wednesday across the East Coast as the system progresses eastward, but it won't be as significant as the next 3 days here. I do want to talk briefly about today's forecast, kind of what the timing is going to be. We'll have more of a timing on stream today for tomorrow. We'll talk about that then. But nevertheless, guys, I don't think I've ever seen, at least in the last couple of years, a HER model run, or our main model run, show as many supercells as we could see. This could be a significant tornado outbreak across the state of Kansas State specifically here. You can see all of these supercells firing off around the dry line here around 3 to 4 o'clock this afternoon. Every single one of these could produce a strong to intense potential tornado if they become surface-based along the dry line. Large to extremely destructive hail will be on the table for today, as well as the threat for damaging winds. A little bit more of a conditional threat. And I want to mention, if you guys are down here in Oklahoma and Texas, you're like, all right, once again, where are my storms? This is a dry line setup, meaning you may see storms, you may not, but the threat is there. If a supercell fires off in Oklahoma or in Texas, we could see a strong to intense conditional tornado risk, as well as large hail and damaging winds. So a little bit more of a question mark on what's going to happen down here. Some models have convection, some don't have convection, but nevertheless, we're going to have storms more than likely in and around the area there later on this evening here. So just because you don't see anything on the models does not mean you're not going to see anything in general. Just keep a mindful on that. But nevertheless, between 3 and about midnight tonight is the main period for this. Storm's ripping through Kansas here, getting ready to cross into western Missouri. A little bit less confidence on what's going to happen this evening and overnight across Missouri. We'll have to wait and see how this progresses through this afternoon, but there still could be some strong severe weather out there around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then after that, things start to fall apart as we see kind of a little complex moving through Illinois and into eastern Missouri for low and very low and severe weather. I do want to mention, we'll talk more about tomorrow here in just a second, but the tornado parameters today are pretty much going to be maxed out. We'll have significant instability. The dew points today are going to be up in the 60s, low 70s. Significant severe weather, like I said, expected all modes possible today. Like I said, tornado outbreak on the table for today. I do want to mention tomorrow. Tomorrow looks a little bit messy on the models. Widespread convection, supercells, strong to intense tornadoes possible tomorrow. Large hail, damaging winds. You can kind of see how messy it gets. I'll talk more about this in the stream today in terms of what we could see out of this, kind of just go more in depth. I don't have a lot of time on this video to do with this, but what I'm getting at is the high ceiling for tomorrow's event. Moderate risk, maybe even a high risk potentially on the table. Low end threat, damaging winds coupled to intense tornadoes, still going to be a big deal, and some large hail. So we really still kind of trying to figure out what's going to happen with tomorrow's setup. Hopefully we'll get some more clarification on this, but you can see widespread convection going across the Central Plains into the Missouri Boot Hill and into the Arklatex tomorrow, and then eventually going into Tuesday, we'll see this move into the lower Ohio Valley. So more updates on that coming in the future here. We'll keep you guys updated on that. I do want to show you guys one thing here, and this is really, really impressive. Once again, the significant tornado parameters for today. If any storms do in fact fire off here, which are projected to, we will have a very, very volatile atmosphere in terms of instability, in terms of significant tornado parameters. And then once again, looking into tomorrow, the door is even more significant, widely open here for significant tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail tomorrow. So we've got a long next 48 hours to 72 hours to get through, guys. Buckle up. It's going to be a very, very long day. I'm not going to talk too in depth on the forecast about the next couple of days after Wednesday. We'll get into that in tomorrow's video and in future videos. I just wanted to get this out to you guys to let you guys know, hey, like, we have an outbreak possibly today. Hey, we have an outbreak possibly tomorrow, and even possibly on Tuesday. So the next 72 hours here, gonna be a bumpy ride. Have a way to get weather alerts. NOAA weather radio is charged up and ready to go. Know where to go when you get tornado warnings. Have a safety action plan in place. Today and tomorrow are not days you want to be caught off guard. Some people may see storms. Some people may not see storms. Hopefully nobody sees storms, but we know that's more than likely not going to happen due to the confidence that we have already out there. So we will have live stream starting today around 2 p.m. Central Time. Come in, watch the stream. We'll be keeping you guys safe and updated on everything ongoing. And God bless you guys. Prayers to everybody out there today. And we will see you guys in the live stream. Be safe, everyone.